Shake it up, stop when the clock hits 13. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
Hey.
You're right.
Hey. I haven't seen the countdown.
Oh, we're not.
We're not.
Well, there's no music. There you go.
I prematurely jumped in and got excited about the show.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Are we on now?
Hey. Here, let's do that. Yeah, there we go. All right.
Hey, it's spring, and that was me.
Oh, that was you.
I had to turn my phone down.
Knock it off.
I know, amateur hour over here.
Okay.
I am super pumped because it's spring and we had more snow today.
Spring.
I woke up, I was like, oh, snow.
What did you say? It's spring?
Yeah,
There we go.
I know. It's.
They're talking another possibly 3 inches again on Thursday.
Stop it.
And then there's snow 2 days for sure next week in the forecast.
Good.
I know. Hey,
I
it's
was
awesome.
hoping maybe we could get another winter blizzard, shut her down for a while.
Why not?
Yep. I don't even care anymore. I don't even care. Don't even.
Should be with your intern.
care. I know. We all need to be with intern Carly, who I'm sure is watching from somewhere warm right now, but we're all living vicariously through her.
Yeah, and if you are watching, we have been cussing at you before we turn the cameras on because you're down there.
Yep. Yeah.
No, we didn't, but
You've been down there for like a month. So
Yeah.
wherever there is, we don't want to identify your location in case you're hiding out. But
we'll be able to tell next week. She'll be the tan one in the studio.
oh my gosh, after spring break, it's so great to see like all the tan people. You know, they like show up and they try to blend in, but you're like,
Yeah, and here we are so white we're almost blue.
I know. Yeah, they just kind of like mosey in, and you're like
what? What?
Yeah, just hitting the bed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's spring. Guest just because this party started. So exciting. My name's Courtney Barstead Logan. I'm a realtor with Remax Grand, and you can find me on social media at Grand Cities Living. You know that if you're tuning in here. If you're on my personal page watching this and have questions, hop over to the Grand Cities Living page because sometimes I miss since it's on both sides. But you can also check the replay on here anytime or on YouTube. I've had some questions about that. So. And if you're tuning in from Twitter, that is Grand Cities Life. You can also find me at 1375 South Columbia Road, Suite G, for licensing purposes right there. You got it. And I want to put out a little plug because it is spring, as we said, and people are starting to wonder if the snow is ever going to melt. But I am going to highly recommend if you are a homeowner that you reach out to your insurance company and just check and see what is included with your homeowner's policy. If you need to add on any type of flood protection, sewer backup, nobody wants the poo, or whatever that looks like, because people think, oh, I'll just get flood insurance from the old FEMA, but rumor has it that that is just for overland flooding. I feel like if we have overland flooding again, like before, the whole town's going to get taken out. So we don't. I don't know that many rural. You, John.
You're such a breath of fresh air this morning.
I know. Anyway,
I figured the whole town's going to get taken out.
I know. When people are like, "Well, should we be worried about when new people move here?" Right?
Yeah.
They say like, "Well, that '97 flood, should we be worried about it?" I'm like, if you're worried about it, we're all doomed.
You know, the problem is we need a gradual thaw.
Yeah.
But from what I've been hearing from the professionals, they
Okay.
say that this snow does not have as much moisture as
a dry
previous
snow?
flooding years. Yeah, it's a dry
snow.
Yeah, it's like my mother-in-law used to, everything was dry to her. It tastes dry.
Ooh.
She'd eat soup and say
Yeah.
it tastes dry. But yeah, they
So
say
dry snow.
it's not
Okay.
as much moisture in the snow this year, so that maybe it won't be so bad.
I've noticed that. It doesn't ball up as well.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
In the
So-
9 million times I have moved it this winter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed a little wet to me, but I will trust the experts on that. So
Yeah.
dry snow. Yeah, but we could get a really hot day and things start moving. But so that's going to be my recommendation. Check those sump pumps. Make sure that your line's not all clogged up and frozen. But there is your fun tip housing thing of the day. And now we get to talk about something cool and fun with my guest this morning. I have Matt Wallace here from the North Dakota Museum of Art.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. I told the crew here last week that I was going to try to get you on the show, and then yesterday it dawned on me. And so I appreciate your last minute quick responses.
I'm totally excited to come. So,
Well, thank you. I'm probably going to put you on the list of one of the quickest responders in town. So
anytime I can talk about the museum is a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. So, you're the executive director, the big man on campus, if you will. And for a lot of people, I've found intern Carly had never been to the museum. It's kind of our hidden gem on the prairie here. And I'm on a tiny little mission to make sure that people know about it, which would be cool. That it becomes one of those things that people say, oh, have you been to the museum lately? Not, we have a museum here.
Yeah.
So can you share for those that are just tuning in, have never heard of the museum, can you share a little bit more about the history and the museum here?
Sure. So,
Awesome.
yeah, like you said, a lot of people, we're tucked away in the back of campus, right? People have a hard time finding us at times. But the museum actually started in the 70s as a student art gallery on the third floor of the Union. The founding director, Laurel Reuter,
Yep.
she's been here for 50 years. She started this as, like I said, a student gallery, built it up. The building that we're in is the former women's gymnasium on campus.
Crazy.
So
The women's
gymnasium. When you walk into the museum, you'll see carved in above the door, gymnasium.
Yes.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah.
And so that was women's gymnasium, and then they quit using it for that, and they started teaching modern dance in that building. And then that program kind of ended, I guess. And I think it was in probably late 80s. Laurel raised the money to renovate that. So they hired an architect out of Albuquerque to redesign the building, and opened in 89, 1990, I think was the first show.
Okay.
And it's been there since then.
And now, so is it privately funded or is it in conjunction with the university?
Oh, so this is a tough question,
Okay.
right? Like we are in this middle ground.
Yes.
We're the State Art Museum, but we're in Grand Forks, North Dakota, not
Yeah.
Bismarck.
Yes.
We are also a private not-for-profit.
Okay. All
So
the things.
Everything.
So you can, when you fill out paperwork, you check all the boxes.
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Grants are better that way.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. Yeah. Well,
No,
however,
so we have an agreement with the university in which, as part of our lease agreement, they take care of certain things. We take care of certain things. Obviously, it's a state-owned building.
Okay.
So we are open to the students. We provide programming to the students in exchange for them helping take care of this place.
Okay.
So we are not for profit, which means we are governed by our board of trustees, which means we have to raise our own money for salary and programming.
Okay.
So we are always at work, with memberships and grants and sponsorships for events and stuff to make everything get through the year. So yeah.
Yeah. What an interesting mix, though, that you get the partnership with the university, and also I had the great pleasure of being in a number of programs on campus that, for lack of a better word, required us to go to the museum. Not all of them do, and I think it's a huge disservice if people have graduated and not seen this building on campus, because there's so much in it from, and this is going to sound crazy, but from the cafe, which is going to offer, wonderful food,
Absolutely.
something different than, what sometimes I know as a college student, what I was, experiencing, some wonderful food. You've got exhibits going on. You even have a store in there and just different things. You've got music going on outside in the summer, and events and places opportunities to volunteer. So students have all types of opportunities to go in to see that and to experience it, and that's for free.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no charge.
Yeah, for people to come in.
You can come and see any exhibition free of charge. The cafe is open to everyone. There are ticketed events, like you said, like our summer concerts, our classical concert series, our education programs. But we try to keep things, when we do charge, as affordable as possible. One of the main goals is to make sure that everyone can attend the event at the museum, no matter the amount of money that you have. We want it to be open as much as possible, which this is where sponsorships come in, right? This where we reach out to the business community and say, hey, can you help us with this? And, you know, we get really good responses for the summer concerts, for educational programs, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
Can I ask him a question?
Yeah.
I always seem to find out too late.
Oh.
I'll find out, oh man, I missed those guys. They were at the museum. I really wanted to see this band or this piece, but I didn't hear about it. Is there a way to get the ups on this? I mean, just the website or something, or
Yep.
you know, or you guys reach out to us and we can spread the word too. But I know I've missed out on some pretty good stuff.
Hey,
Okay,
check
there
out-
it is.
Okay. Yep. Got all your.
And
stuff.
also,
Yeah.
anyone can go to the museum's website, click on, you know, the email link and put in your information, then you're automatically entered.
okay.
So you get every email that the museum sends out for any event that we have.
Perfect.
Yeah. And your social media page is nice. One of the things I love about the social media page is I get to find out like the foods that are going to be offered in the specials.
Yep.
So, so that's a fun little tidbit, and also just seeing what's there. So, last time we were there, you had the upstairs was converted to the apartment. Is that
Yes.
still?
So
Can you
that
share
yes,
about that?
yeah, absolutely. So that's a semi-permanent exhibition, right?
Okay.
How that took place was when we opened the building in 1989, right? We moved in, renovated. First exhibition was by Peter Dean, a painter from New York, and then Barton Benish, who was an assemblage artist, also from New York. And Barton had his work upstairs in that mezzanine gallery. And over the years, Barton fell in love with North Dakota.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, exactly. For some reason, right? Everyone says, why? You know, but there's a couple things. He fell in love with North Dakota and the people here, but he also realized that there was no African artwork at that time, or very little African artwork in North Dakota. And being a artist in New York, like, what are you going to do with an apartment full of artwork? So I guess one evening, he and Laurel, our director there, was hanging out, and they were talking, and she says, why don't you just leave the apartment to me, and we'll recreate it as it was when you passed away. And yeah, he said, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
So we ended up having to, so Barton passed away in 2012.
Okay.
So a group of about 8 of us went out and we packed up 2 trucks, loaded it to the very back of the truck. Like we couldn't get anything else in that truck.
Yeah.
We had to fundraise. And then when you go upstairs in the mezzanine gallery there, you can see we recreated his apartment as it was when he passed away.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
It's packed. It was like I think it was a 650 square foot apartment.
Yeah.
And we took out 2 truckloads of artwork.
Wild. And
Yeah.
you took the photos and then placed it back as
Yeah,
much
so-
as you could. To, yeah.
We had 4 years of photographs
Yeah.
available to us, hired numerous photographers. Former employee, Danny Masters, was brilliant at this. She actually made grids of the whole apartment.
Crazy.
And so we were able to follow her grid pattern, take things, put them in boxes, label them
Yeah.
by that grid, and then put it back exactly where it was without worrying about being out of line.
It's absolutely crazy. If you haven't gone in, it's so cool because you know, it's encased in glass, but each angle you go to is a different thing. And as a realtor, it was funny. My intern and I were walking through, and I'm like, "Can you imagine trying to sell this place? Because there's like a walking path,
Yeah,
literally,
pretty
to,
much,
yeah,
pretty much,
to get
yeah,
to
yeah.
places, and then you can sit in the chair,
Yeah.
you can walk through. But there's just, I think you could probably go up there every day and notice something different.
I still find
Is it-
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still find things.
Yeah.
One of the things that's really fun is that he kept all kinds of items. And he kept them in a catalog drawer, like an old library catalog
Yeah,
drawer. And it's
yeah.
marked, celebrity, war, food, whatever. And you open it up and you don't know what's in those drawers, right?
Yeah.
And so it's always fun just kind of go through and look at some of the stuff that he did. And what he would do is he'd collect things that usually were touched by some kind of celebrity or some sort of happening. For example, he's got a nail from the Branch Davidian compound, right?
Crazy.
He has jelly beans from Ronald Reagan's desk, Elizabeth Taylor's heel that broke off her shoe. And so he collects all this stuff, and
Yeah.
then he makes something with it when he gets enough stuff to do things with. So
Crazy.
the apartment is just
Yeah.
completely packed. African artwork was obviously something that he really loved. After going to Africa in the 70s, he only started to, he quit painting and just doing assemblage artwork.
Okay.
So he loved the masks and everything that went along with that.
That's
And then he just sort of just kind of kept on going and had numerous shows here at the museum over the years. And like I said, when he passed away in 2012 is when we took possession of everything and
wild.
moved it back here to North Dakota.
I feel like I need to get some tips from Laurel on when I meet with clients. Like, what if you just leave your place to me and
Yes,
I'll figure it out?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's not always a blessing.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
But no, he was wonderful, good collector. And when people come, that's one of the highlights of the museum. They can kind of go in and just see,
So,
here's
yeah.
a New York apartment of this artist who lived there his entire life.
So awesome. Yeah. We thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think for people to know, okay, I can come by, I can just walk in, I can, just enjoy the space. There's no, you're not going to get the 50 questions. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
What's going on? It's a nice, quiet space to go enjoy. You also have an event coming up, which is really cool, a popular event here, Rye on the Rocks,
Yes,
in
yeah.
May.
Yep.
You want to share about that and how people can join? Or
Yeah.
get
So this started, I guess, maybe 7-8 years ago, right? I think this is
pre-pandemic.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely
Yeah.
pre-pandemic, and
Yeah.
it was an event called Rye on the Rocks, and if you don't know what Rye on the Rocks is, it's we partnered with Far North Spirits up in Hallock, North Dakota, or Minnesota, I'm sorry, and their Rocknar Rye whiskey is just phenomenal, right? They're just a excellent distiller up there. They make just wonderful products, and they're big supporters of the museum. They just anything we do, they're just wanting to help out.
Yeah.
And so we came up with this contest called Rye on the Rocks, in which area bartenders get some rye whiskey from Far North Spirits, and they create an original cocktail using that. And we sell 200 tickets to this event. And what you do is you come in, you get a punch card, and you get a sample from each of the 5 or 6 bartenders. There's food that's donated from area restaurants. So it's just a fun, short 2-hour event. You can go in there, take a sample, walk around, have some food, and then at the end of the night, you get to cast your vote in a couple categories. And then we have a judges panel that picks the top prize, the judges prize. And so it's been really heated. We had to take a little break over COVID, obviously. But the bartenders in Grand Forks are really coming around. They are putting the heat on, and it's becoming a serious competition.
How many bartenders do you have? Like, how many samples does one?
So each bartender has to create 200 samples.
Okay.
So we sell 200 tickets. Each person gets 1 sample per bar.
Okay. And how many bars are involved?
Usually it's about 5 to 6 bartenders.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
we
was
try to
thinking like
cap
you
it
have
about
20.
yeah,
make
no,
that
like
place
we.
just blitz. Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah, it's like, do you need a bar or a judge?
So you get one small sample per bartender.
A mini shooter,
Yeah,
if you will.
yeah.
Okay.
And then they get the top prize is the judge's choice with a trophy for that.
Yep.
And then prizes from the museum, like maybe a cafe, a gift card,
Yeah.
so they can come and have lunch, or prizes from Far North Spirits as well. So they get a little gift bag at the end.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there any art to be purchased that evening, or is this just simply we're focusing on?
Mostly just focusing on the
Okay.
event itself.
Okay.
We really don't have a lot of events in which we flat out sell artwork.
Yeah.
With the exception of a couple auctions. We will probably go back and revive an exhibition that we did that was open just to anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like we hung the work salon style, like floor to ceiling. Everything was for sale. There was no judgments of who made it or what it was. It was just open for everybody. It was called This Week Only.
Yeah.
And you got 1 week and your work could hang in the museum. And if it's sold, then we would split it between the museum and the artist,
Oh.
which is always a kind of a fun. So
Got
we're looking at
some nice stuff from my 3-year-old. If you need, I think it'd be kind of fun to throw it in.
Yeah, no judgments, right? Like it's just
Right?
open to whoever.
Like
yeah.
all of a sudden be
Yeah.
like, that one brought in 10,000. I'd be like, you're welcome. There's more where that came from.
No, really, it's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says
Or
it's
like I remember him when he was 3.
See?
you know,
Right?
Before he was famous.
I know, I know, yeah.
So
Okay, yeah.
so we don't really do a lot of sales,
Yeah.
except for auctions and special events like that.
Yeah, I have had the pleasure of attending an auction, and my favorite thing to do is to go around and look at all, because many times the those that are purchasing outbid me quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I will get at that point in my life where I can outbid them, but I'm
Absolutely.
at a point in my life where I can just enjoy it and donate to the museum. And so I like to go around and think like, okay, this one's going to be the highest.
Yeah.
And I'm always blown out of the water which one's the highest.
Yeah.
So
it can go anyway,
it's
right?
pure entertainment.
But you also touched on
too.
something that I think is really interesting is too.
Yeah.
There's just so many different ways you can support the
Yeah.
museum, not just through a purchasing of artwork, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Giving Hearts Day, for
Giving
example, right?
Hearts
You came in
Day.
for that.
Yes.
There's memberships, there's volunteering.
Yep.
There's 100 different ways that
Businesses,
Mm-hmm.
coming in and supporting and doing that and spreading the word, I think, is huge for, especially for our museum. We get, new people that come to town and they say like, what am I going to, with my kids, they come from a bigger community. And I always send them your information and all the different, because there's more to life than just sports. There's arts. And so sending them the art camps and the different things. Saturdays, you'll have different things going on.
Family Day, we do family days, during the winter. 'Cause
Yes.
What are you going to do with your kids all winter long, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do
So
you do?
come
I'm
on over to
starting
Family Day.
Insane. Yes.
And so that's just
Yeah.
a 2-hour
Yeah.
art making event the last Saturday of each month.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Let's see. I got sidetracked here talking about.
were we talking about?
What were we? We were talking about booze.
Rye on the Rocks, yeah.
What,
We have
what
Rye
is
on
the
the Rocks.
date of Rye on the Rocks? Like May?
That's Thursday, May 25th, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
if I'm correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And thank you, Dale. Dale put the information on here of how to connect with North Dakota Museum of Art. If you want to go on there, check out. Do you know how much tickets are?
They are $50.
$50, okay.
So essentially, this is a fundraiser for the
Yep.
museum.
Yep.
And so you pay your $50.
Yep.
You get your samples. There will be a cash bar as well.
Okay.
And then you get free apps.
I do need to say that any event I've ever been to, and I know that different area businesses, country clubs, ground round, the food is amazing. Like you don't come and just get a little like cheese and meat tray.
No.
It is amazing.
We really try to make sure you go home feeling like you got your $50 worth, right?
Oh
Like,
my gosh, yeah. And then if you're like, then there's like pizza in the corner. I mean, like it's just
and
such a
that's-
good time.
I think that speaks to the generosity of the business community here too. Because they get asked for everything,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Can you do this event for me, and can you do that event for me? And
Yep.
they rarely say no.
Yeah.
They really do appreciate what we have here in Grand Forks, and so we try to support them back as well.
Yep.
So we have events where I might ask you for some free pizza, but then I'll buy it from you next time.
Oh,
It's
I
a
like
good,
that.
you know.
Yeah.
you know.
And that's a Thursday, I think, the 25th.
What's the date?
I think May 25th.
Yep.
Sounds right. May 25th is a Thursday. Okay. Well, I'm going to put it out there. I would like to attend. I know years past I've missed because of something, and I know I will be in town and ready
Just
to
take Friday off.
take Friday off.
Start your weekend
Okay.
early.
I like it. Yeah.
So we sell 200 tickets to this event. So
Yeah, so only 200 tickets. So head over, pick up your tickets, comment below if you want to come with me. We can get a small gang together and show up and get wild and crazy.
It's fun.
Whoop it up.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Whoop,
Whoop, whoop.
whoop it up.
And you have the bartenders there telling you exactly what they did, what's in their drink, how they did it.
Yeah.
And they're going to spend the next couple weeks starting to master a new drink.
Okay.
And like I said, the competition has really kind of stepped up.
That's awesome.
We got some great bartenders here in this town. So.
Oh, yeah.
What is the airport party?
Oh.
Oh,
Somebody texted in and said, "Bring back the airport party."
I wish.
Yeah. Oh, Carson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he could host it.
We could do it at his place.
We
yeah.
could do it at his house.
Yeah.
Bring
Why
a
not?
plane in.
No,
Yeah.
it's an event in which we would throw a big party out at the private hangar out at the airport, and so we'd have a band come in. We had 5 or 6 tables of food. We have the bar set up, and what we would do is your ticket would be $200 to get in, but there were 5 prizes, and the grand prize was a free private flight for up to 8 people, usually to Minneapolis, with tickets to the Twins game or the Vikings game or something along those lines. And Kyle Black, graciously donated that, to us. He and his business partner Jeff donated the facility to us. We had a float plane ride that was donated. We had a half-hour flight around Grand Forks. We just had all kinds of aviation prizes.
Cool.
UND Aviation was part of it. They would
Yeah.
donate simulator time.
Yeah.
So it was this big party. So we're looking for another partner in the sound and light business that would be able to kind of come in and help with that part of it, because that was such a huge, the production side was massive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that, it wouldn't have happened.
I have an iPod.
That's iPod and some red
So
flashlights.
That's how I can help
Yeah,
on that
we can
side.
do that.
Okay.
I have a fog machine.
Okay.
So
Anyone have
we're
bubbles?
halfway there.
Yeah.
We're halfway there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
look at the community
So we
stepping
just,
up.
we just went from 2 semis to a box
Yeah.
of equipment.
I think, yeah. How's that for you there, Carson? So the last time that was was not last fall, but the fall before. I remember because it was a football day.
Yep.
Yep.
We
I
had
was
teams
out
coming
there.
in and out.
It was wild,
it
and
was great.
so it wasn't last year. It was 2 years ago. Was the
Couple years
last
ago.
one?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So we need to
And-
rally to get that back.
And that's another one of those fundraisers, just unique. There's nothing like it around, and
Yeah.
like we had a great crew on the committee, and again, the business communities that's stepping up and wanting to support the museum in any way they can, and whether it's through
Yeah.
food or, I mean, a flight for 8 people is incredible,
Yeah.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
just
So
never
cool.
heard of. So
Well, maybe what I need to work on is one of those deals where I meet with a client and say, "Why don't you just leave me your house?" And then we have it at the house, and then we give away the house.
we could do that.
There you go.
We could give away the house.
Right? Yeah.
That'd be a raffle.
Okay.
That'd be a raffle.
So if anybody's like, I just don't want to deal with my condo or anything anymore, I'm just gonna leave it to Courtney.
Tickets are only 25 grand.
25
Yeah,
grand.
there you go.
Yeah, we all cram into this condo. And just,
Yeah.
woo.
And
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna walk out of here owning a condo today.
Yeah, but it would probably be a little on more of the side, like easy, the squeezed cheese and maybe some Boone's Farm. Who cares?
Hey.
You're winning a house.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Right?
And we'll limit the raffle to 10.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
yeah,
it.
one,
Okay.
in, 1 in 10 chance of winning.
1 in 10 chance. Just
Pretty
10
good
of your
odds.
close
Yeah.
That's
personal
easy.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
okay,
cars. We can do a cars too.
Yeah.
there you go.
Oh, the classic car play.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, if you are a member of the community that has a great idea like this,
Mm-hmm.
or you can help us bring back the event out
Yep,
at
the
the
Rock on the
airport.
Runway, yep.
Yes, we could come up with fun ideas. But if you're like, I am just excited to go out and check out this museum that you've just told me about, Courtney and Matt, where are you located, and what are the hours like for people?
Sure. So we are located on campus. We're on 261 Centennial Drive. So we are actually right next door neighbors to the ROTC building
Yeah.
and just south of Twomley Hall. Like I said, it's a very recognizable building. It's got a big glass front entrance and the stone garden that surrounds the whole building. So you can't miss it. Parking is really easy these days on campus. I think UND has done a great job of getting more friendly, I think, with their parking policies. You just download passport parking instead of pumping in meter, the meter, throwing in a couple quarters, go in and have lunch, and then come out and you found out your meter expired. Everything's right on your cell phone now.
It's so great.
Yeah. And if you don't have a cell phone, just come in and we can set you up.
Yeah.
Last thing we want you to do is have a bad experience
Yeah.
when you're visiting.
You don't want a ticket
No,
where you're going
because
into
they're serious. They're like $40 a ticket now.
Yeah.
So
the ticket people.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, Giving Hearts Day, I had done the little app. It was so cool. I love this app. And then the ticket guy, they just know where I'm at all the time. I think they know I have probably an outstanding one from 20 years ago. But I was like, paid, got it on my phone.
no problem.
So, yeah.
So it's
Easy
really
to get
easy.
in.
Yeah, really
in,
easy.
go.
Come in. Some weekdays, have lunch. I'm really excited. We are applying for our own liquor license. So, at some point here in the near future, fingers crossed, we can start serving beer and wine for lunch, maybe extend our happy hour at the
Love.
museum, and then being able to do our own events. So we'll see.
Super. That would be so fun. Go have a little appetizer, a glass of wine, and go check out the museum. Fun
yeah.
little,
So we're hoping, cafe is open from 11 to 3, but we're hoping maybe when this comes around, we can, fingers crossed, we can find the help, just extend it till 3 to 5 happy hour.
Yeah.
And then, so we'll see.
Awesome. Okay, and sorry, you said Monday through Saturday.
Monday through Friday,
Monday
the
through
cafe.
Friday,
Yep.
okay, and
Cafe's
the-
open Monday through Friday,
Okay.
11 to 3.
Okay.
The weekend's open every day of the week. Or the weekend, I'm sorry. The
Yeah.
museum's open
Yes.
every day of the week.
Okay.
So 9 to 5
Okay.
weekdays and 1 to 5 on weekends.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you can go check it out. And then for all ages, so make sure to check out, if you have the family events. Are you still doing the to-go art bag?
Yeah, absolutely.
thing?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
thanks for
okay,
asking,
yeah.
because that actually came up out of COVID. You know, when people weren't getting together and weren't doing things, and then, you know, how are we serving the community? Well, our education director got together with ArtWise and the library and a couple other organizations here in town, and we said, you know, let's get one artist to come up with an idea every month. And then we would make these supplies, put everything together in little baggies, and you would come to the museum and just pick up an art making supply. So it could be watercolor one month, and the next month it might be clay. And so you'd have their take and makes. And so we'd make 1,000 every month. And it was just one of those deals that we decided that we would just keep on doing, even after COVID. So, you know, even if you can't make it to the museum or you're looking for something to do, you can just come and pick up one of those and take them home with you. Free.
Yeah.
Free.
So awesome. And especially for the kids, there's not as much focus in the classroom on the arts, which we hear a lot about, but also knowing, I have a niece who she's just like absolutely not into the sports and doesn't care. And, you know, and so more into creating and doing all of that. So there's the camps coming up this summer. There's all kinds of different things. So check that out for your kids, or if you know of a kid.
And I'll say also check in with us too, because you know, we do get businesses once in a while that will help pay for schools to be bused to the museum.
Oh.
So, for example, Retracts.
Yeah.
They've been wonderful with us.
Yeah.
They would give us money each month to spend to bring schools to the museum.
That's
so I know
awesome.
that, you know, schools, their budgets, they're
Yep.
put ahead, you know, last year, right?
Yep.
And they can't really do much about that. So this frees up a lot of, it just gives them a greater opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So if they
Get
don't
'em
have
there.
to pay for a bus, and we can pay for that bus to get them there, everyone's happy. It's a
Yeah.
win-win.
Do you have like certain ones where you reach out to those groups and say like this would be good for the middle schoolers versus some other ones? Because I mean they're a little rowdy, those ones.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
smells
I
like
mean,
teen spirit.
it's
Yeah.
there's, you know, things fall out of the ceiling in my office when they come. It's like a herd of, you
Yeah,
know,
herd of turtles
yes,
coming
up
in.
there.
Yes.
But it's great. You know,
Yeah.
we split them in 2-3 different categories.
Yeah.
They get to see the artwork. They learn about the artwork. They usually sit down and make something based on that experience
Cool.
as well.
Cool.
So then they all go home with something as
That's
well.
awesome.
So,
Yeah.
but we really encourage kind of, you know, anyone from the little kids to the high
Mm-hmm.
schoolers and obviously the university courses too.
Yeah. My guy likes to just touch everything, so I'm going to wait a little bit, except when I submit his piece to like the anything goes sale.
Yeah.
So.
We'll make sure we price that properly.
Oh, it's yeah. You wait. There's some good stuff out
It
there.
is. It's great.
Yeah.
But he can go outside and touch all the artwork out there, all he wants.
Absolutely. Have you found the missing?
Oh, good question.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know,
Yes.
Halloween. So this year we redesigned our sculpture garden and flower garden, right? Put tons of money into it. And what we wanted to do is make the museum more visible. With all the constructions going around campus and how things were changing, we wanted the museum to be more visible. So we wanted to highlight more outdoor sculpture. And we've had a sculpture from an artist in the East Coast in our flower garden since the late 90s, and not an issue. Well, we made it the most prominent sculpture there was, right? It's the first thing you come in the parking lot, it's the first thing you see. And Halloween weekend, it disappeared. And we waited. We put it away every fall before the snow flies, and we were going to do it, but that was the weekend that we had our autumn art auction. So we it was such a beautiful weekend, and the garden was still looking really
Yep.
good. So let's leave it out there until after the autumn art auction, then we'll put it away. Well, come Monday, it was gone.
How heavy is it?
So it wasn't particularly heavy.
Okay.
It was it's made out of foam and sheet metal with handmade ceramic tiles.
It looked like concrete.
Yeah,
So it was
I mean, it really
more
did.
so-
It does.
okay,
Yeah, it
okay.
totally looked heavy.
Okay.
But it disappeared that weekend. So it was probably a 2-person job, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Unless you really didn't care if it made it to wherever you took it to in perfect shape.
Sure.
It, like I said, it was gone. We got the UND Police Department involved. They searched the banks of the coulee.
Yeah.
Looked all over campus. That didn't bring anything up. They brought in the Grand Forks Sheriff's Department. They scanned the coulee.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Yeah.
If it is, no one found it. So we were out. out of sculpture.
Are you kind of just hoping maybe that by the end of the school year it will show back
Shows
up
up?
again?
You know-
Because maybe it's sitting in somebody's dorm room and it's a conversation piece. You know,
Yeah.
hopefully, hopefully.
This is great because if they're listening,
Yeah.
we've offered a $1,000 reward for it.
Yeah.
The UND Police Department said they would go pick it up, no questions asked.
Yeah.
A museum would give a $1,000 reward.
Yeah.
That didn't bring anything back. I'm happy to say that the artist, who is still making art, she's in her 80s,
Yeah.
is going to recreate it for us.
Oh,
Wow.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
And so
and then
she's
those
very
idiots
generous.
will be out their $1,000. So that's what you get.
I know. So if you've seen this around and you want to make a quick $1,000, no questions asked, return it.
Yeah, and it's a circle made out of handmade tiles, hand painted tiles. We call it the garden wheel, and it's been in the collection since the late '90s, and
Wow.
with nothing happening until this year.
Well,
Can't leave stuff alone.
it's why we can't have nice things.
That's
friends.
right.
Nope. It's you never know what you're gonna get, but this has been awesome. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is great.
Yeah, this is great. There's so many things that people can take part in. So head to the NDMOA.com. You can check out all the things going on, what's coming up, ways to get involved. Or if you want to connect here with Mr. Matthew, he can answer any questions you've got as well.
We'll see.
All
I try.
the time.
I try.
He's the quickest responder in town. Remember this. Yes. Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and make sure with everything you do today, you check out the Museum of Art and put a fork in it. Have a great day.
Move with the good. Shake it up, stop.